Hi everyone, Dan from Gem here. Gem are delighted to be back sponsoring this year's Great Irish Bake for Crumlin and Temple Street, and we have a really exciting recipe coming for you today. Have you ever felt that maybe one biscuit just isn't quite doing it for you, and maybe you want to turn 36 Mikados into one Giant Mikado? Well, that's exactly what we've done. We now have a Giant Mikado recipe. It's so simple, so easy, and absolutely delicious. So we're going to start off by adding 100 grams of gem caster sugar to 125 grams of room temperature unsalted butter. After that then we're going to take 100 grams of gem soft light brown sugar. We're going to beat the three of those together until pale and fluffy. So we're going to take our whisk, start on nice slow speed, mix everything together until it's all pale and fluffy. So once that's all done, take a large egg, crack that straight in, and then we're also going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla, mix that up again. And once that's all well truly combined, we're going to take 280 grams of self-raising flour and a pinch of salt and add that in. So sift that into your mix and then take your mixer, going very slowly, so as low as you can go. Even if you don't want to turn on the mixer and just mix manually, that's perfect. Even just take a whisk, just so the flour doesn't go everywhere. Get that going until you can see no flour remaining. And then we're going to go in, we're going to take our trusty wooden spoon, mix it all together until a nice dough forms. And this dough is brilliant. It's so easy to mold them into the shape you want, which is exactly what we're going to need to get the base of our Giant Mikado. So once we've got that all mixed with our wooden spoon, you're going to take a 10.5 inch by 15 inch baking tray, grease and line that, get a nice bit of parchment down on it. Turn the dough out, and using the back of your spoon for the start, just kind of gently press it down, even it out, space it out nice and easy. But you don't really need your spoon for this. It's great for your hands. It's not too sticky, so it's brilliant to just go in with it and shape it out. To get this fitted right out into the edges to take up the whole tray, all we're going to do is take another sheet of baking parchment, put that down on top, using a rolling pin, just stretch it out into the corners. You want it, it's going to fill out nice, and you can see it comes across beautifully when you take that up. Now, the trick to this, what we're going to do is take a 3.5 inch diameter cookie cutter, or scone cutter, and we're just going to go around slightly in from the edges 4 times each way. Now I know Mikado has 5 kind of hills, but we're going to go 4 because it fits in nicely with this size. All we're going to do then is we're going to chill this in the fridge for an hour, and then we're going to bake it at 180 degrees for 16 minutes. But luckily, here's one I did earlier. And you'll notice that the edges have been trimmed, so it's a nice even rectangle, and it's brilliant. So that's golden brown, ready to go. It's still cooling a little bit, but you'll see it's a great crunch to this biscuit. So next up, we're going to move onto our jam, which if you haven't seen us make homemade jam before, be sure to check out the Instagram highlights. It's all up there. It's 500 grams of raspberries, 500 grams of jam sugar, and it takes about 5 minutes to do. So for our marshmallow, we're going to start off with 80 mils of water. To that, we're going to add 150 grams of gem granulated sugar. And we're also going to take 255 grams of really good honey. Now the idea here is we're going to mix this all together before we add it to any heat to get it, you know, nice and smooth, consistent. And what we're going to do then, add it to the heat. We're going to use a sugar thermometer to make sure we hit it's 240 degrees Fahrenheit is what we're looking for, or the softball stage. And you're not going to stir when it's on the heat, you're just going to leave it to do its thing. So once that's all mixed nice and easy, we're going to take our induction hob and we're going to get that onto the heat. So get your thermometer, position it somewhere that you can read it quite easily, and then just let that do its thing. Next up then, we're going to work on our egg whites. So we're going to take 3 large egg whites, and we're also going to add in half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And the idea here is we're going to start whipping this once our sugar, honey, water syrup has reached 225 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to whip that for about 3 minutes on medium high to get to the soft peaks, and then we're going to pour that mixture in to the egg whites, and that'll create a beautiful fluffy marshmallow, but it'll also hold its shape, which is brilliant, and means we can pipe onto the biscuit. So as you can see there, boiling up nice and easy. Turn the heat down just a tad. It's at the 225 now. We've reduced the speed to medium on our mixer, and once that hits 240, take the thermometer out, and we have a great little saucepan with a lip that we can easily pour that. So mixer to medium. Pouring this in really slowly, really carefully, because this is very hot, just in between the bowl and the whisk, so not to splash any of this mixture out. So keep that going all the way in, get every last drop of this. Once that's all out, crank that mixer up to high, and you're going to run this until that mix has thickened. It's going to be so fluffy, glossy, and ready and beautifully to pipe. So we're going to add in teaspoon of vanilla once it's cooled down, so it's going to take a few minutes, and then we're going to add in some pink food coloring. You can also use red, just kind of, you know, portion it out so you're not going too over the top red. Definitely a gel based one will be better for this, and you'll get the color coming through. So once that's reached stiff peaks, you'll see it's going to be so thick, so firm, it'll really hold its shape well. It'll be great for piping. You can see just as I take it out here, that's ready to go. I can't describe how delicious this is. So next up, transfer your marshmallow into your piping bag. I should say at this stage we've also piped our jam onto our biscuit. Just use a piping bag to make sure it's a bit easier, and we're going to use those circles we kind of dented in as indications of where we want to pipe this. So just pipe nice mounds. You know, we're going to go back over this, making sure it's a little bit more decorative, a little bit cleaner, but for the time being, nice mounds. Get them all kind of as even as possible, and then you're just going to go back over it with a spoon, smooth them out, round them out up the top. Use a spatula as well. I just found it was a little bit easier to do, but yeah, definitely use up all this marshmallow. It's so delicious. Yeah, so again, just kind of clean it up, and the last thing we need then is to take some desiccated coconut, and we are going to liberally sprinkle this over our biscuit, over our marshmallow, over the jam, getting every little nook and cranny we can, because Mikado, as we know, has a beautiful coconut flavour that really complements this raspberry jam and goes really great with the marshmallow. So yeah, just nice and even all the way over the top until everything is well coated, and that's it. That's how you make a giant Mikado.